Credit Union. That's one stai cappuccino. Stai cappuccino. Good boy. Okay. Wait for my okay now. All right. Get on. Ooh, it's chilly. Look at that empty parking lot. It's never, ever been like that before. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Something maybe before they built it. Stay on this side of the sidewalk. Stay where I'm at. Good boy. Good puppy. You're a good puppy dog. Yes, you are. Let's go over here for a minute. Let's go over here and see if I can adjust to the cold. Go ahead and cross. Come on, there's nothing. Let's do it now. Come on. Good boy. Good puppy dog. He's a good boy. Right. Pardon me. Yeah. I was gone like 2 hours and 45 minutes doing something I don't want to do because, well, y'all know that I don't like to violate man's laws, man, if I can help it. I just don't want to be found doing that, caught doing that. And I really felt let down that I was put in a position where I had to, because I held out waiting for God to toss me 10 piddly fucking dollars and a ride to the fucking place to get a gram. And I ended up, my synthesizer's hocked for 100 till the 10th or longer. If I pay 25, $125 to get it back, because I only hocked it for 100. I don't want it to be a huge burden to get it back. I didn't need that much money, you know. But I didn't want to go too low either, because I didn't know how much gas I needed, which why I put 20 in it, it still would have took more. So I drove a couple of run gallons out on the way back. See, and that's the thing, you know. I ended up in this position where I got sick again, and it's like, you know, that's why I like to stay medicated. Come on, keep up with me. Andiamo. We'll go over there on the way back. We don't do it on the way. Be on my left. So you know where you're at all times. My peripheral vision on the left is better. So I can see what dog's approaching you. You're just ahead of me on the left. And snatch you up. There's so a reason for that. It's for your protection. There's big dogs loose that I don't always know are there. Little puppy. Maybe you'll get it one of these days. And I decided not to sit down. I'm going to put all these little clips together. I was going to sit down at the gazebo, and I decided, well, I'm already cold. Let's just go ahead and let him go as far as I can take him on no food since the last time I ate was like yesterday or something. Lisa and John fed me yesterday, and I was actually able to eat it, man, because, well, I don't know, John's kind of a good cook. Some of his dishes are good, some of them are too spicy though, and I'm old. But yeah, I had a fucking one of them psychotic rants that I don't ever like to have, because, well, I had a diabetic blood drop. Let's go up here. Let's sit here a second. Let's mind our own business. Yeah, because there's children, and we kind of just don't want to be bothered if we can help it. But yeah, it's like, it kind of shows that what I got going is not just by the spirit, you see. Because I'm having to doctor it with medication. Now, the sad thing about it is if it was pills, like pain pills or psychotics, you know, they had me on mind-numbing shit that I might act out and do some evil shit like other people that are on those psychotics. You know, it's like, if I was on that shit, people would be like making sure I had it, you know? But because I use medical grade marijuana, people judge me for it, and you know, they don't seem like they want me to have it. And, you know, my psychotic rant got pretty crazy. I locked myself in the lab and shit. Was screaming at the fucking angels standing around not doing diddly fuck. It's like, yo, y'all got power to make gold come out of fishes' mouths. I only need 10 piddly bucks man in a ride, you know, to stay within the confines of the law, not draw attention to myself and not put negative energy on myself. And, you know, more, hey, you know, you reap what you sow, karma, you know, just more of that. We'll go this way. That's how we usually do it. So, you gotta kind of keep an eye on this. It's gonna restart. So, yeah. I did what I don't like to do, which I had to focus on myself because I was laying there writhing in pain, fucking starving, and, you know, having the psychotic bullshit where I'm out of my spirit and I'm in my mind, my mental retard. You know, got the chemical imbalances, inbred from both sides. You know, it's like, man, I am retarded. I know that about myself. And you see, then it's like, now I feel bad because, well, you know, I had psychotic rants, said shit, and I have to neutralize shit that I said, you know, and all that shit. That puts negative energy on me because it was a release of negative energy, you know. Because, well, I don't want to, good boy, you potty outside, you're a good puppy dog. You just get ahead of you. There you go. Because you're going to run. See, there he goes. It's running. Yeah. School been closed. Yeah, there was a bunch of kids that rode up on their bikes when we came up, and that's why I had them sit down there. She says, well, I'm not trying to interact with nobody's kids and shit while they're out. People are tripping over with this stuff that's happening, man. It's like, and they already trip out anyway, but it's like, shit, you know I have a past that people ain't going with you. It's like, they be tripping out. So it's like, you know, please don't approach me, yo. I'm minding my own business. I got my camera going, I'm talking. You see I'm talking to a camera? You know, let's go over here. Let's get our squat first, and then we'll get up and go down there. Let's do it in order. Come on. Let's try and restore order after the craziness. Because, well, I just got done making fun of crazy people. Judge not, motherfucker. Now look at how crazy I was. You see? And it makes me uncomfortable when I'm crazy because I'm conscious of it and I'm self-conscious. I'm already self-conscious. I don't need the tables with people, all that shit, you know? Because I'm self-conscious. Good boy. Yeah, you just hang out. I'll get us some water out in a second, okay? It's just normal. Everything's normal. I know it happens fast. I rushed in. Well, I got up when, you know, I got up and there was nobody home. So it's like I went ahead and sifted litters and put water in fountains and food in bowls and all that good stuff outside, you know, because the wind had carried stuff away. So I had to go chase some stuff down. But, yeah, I haven't even had myself a cup of coffee yet. I grabbed myself the rest of a bottle of water I used to fill a couple water bowls in the house. And, because, well, didn't have any time, man. It was like, you know, 2:15, you know, and, they closed at 4 and shit, so it's like, you know, and then I'm like, the CB had been left on in the vans all night, so it's like the fucking battery was almost dead. So it was like almost like it didn't happen anyway. And he threw the synthesizer in there and fucking assured Aslan and prayed, you know, for his safety and well-being beyond all things and the animals there. But him mainly because he has separation anxiety. And I don't like leaving him, but, you know, I can't risk, you know, him getting arrested. You know, and it's like then they'll diagnose him with COVID and put him to sleep. Oh, they'll diagnose him with, I'll have to edit that out, huh? Let's just stop here. Yeah, this is right after the CV edit. Hope I remember to do that. Cause damn, man, it's like they for real. They you can't say some things anymore. But I wouldn't want him to get diagnosed with something and put down, or just, you know, to be taken to one of them facilities is a traumatizing thing for an animal. And that's why, you know, every day they spend in there is traumatizing to them, you know. And that's why I try to encourage, you know, those who can take good care of an animal to go adopt one, you know, because there's like 70 million on count. Look at that squirrel, see it? Can we get some focus? It's going down the tree now. There it goes. I wonder if they beat up on the chipmunks. I have to wonder that. Because the chipmunks are so tiny and they're right out here in the same shit with them. So yeah, I had to lie too to people. It's like, I hate to lie. Talk about paper licenses that I don't really have, all that good shit. So that, I wouldn't have to worry about getting snitched out and, or just, because I wouldn't want somebody that I like to do that to me, and, you know what I'm saying? I had to stop at the dispensary and, one of my tires is pretty low. It's down to 30 pounds. My left right front one. Service engine light was off, but after I put gas in it, I must not have tightened the cap good enough because it's back on. So I think that's it. The cap is just old and fucked up. So, yeah, because it went off. And then it's not affecting how the trans performs. Sometimes it does that shit. Sometimes it doesn't, where it just jerks in the, first gear. And like it didn't shift down. It was sitting in neutral or something. You did a neutral drop when you hit the gas. That's kind of what it's like. So, I succumbed to the retard side again, which that's a huge thing to me, because, I don't like to be that entity, and I don't like to be focused on myself and my pains and shit. I'm the type of person, I'll medicate myself and I'm focused on everything else and everyone else and what I can do for them, So it's like, and then I'm just, I was so let down. Today came, it's Good Friday, yo, ain't it? And it's like, it's about 5:30 now. Let's look at this phone and see. You looking for water, buddy? I'll get us some water if you want it, if you'll drink it. It's 5:21. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I actually made sure I have keys to get back in, because I don't want to be troublesome. I'm like, I wish I could just like disappear, I've been praying to die because, well, that's how I feel. I feel like I want to become what I've become, which is invisible, I'm the invisible man, and I kind of feel that way now, where, I was mean to my kid earlier in the text. I blocked him and shit. I still haven't unblocked him. He was mean back to me, though, so he's a little dick who has no respect. So it's like, he's just like his dad, Johnny. And I put it together today that both my kids were fathered by someone named John. Johnny and then John Sr. Because my sister is my daughter's my half sister. She must know it too, because she doesn't ever act like I'm her dad, even though I was willing to be her dad, and I tried hard to be. I even went back to prison trying to keep that family together. And the only thing that actually kept me away was, Lisa's need. She ended up needing me more than them. I mean, they must not have needed me. Every time I went back out there, I had to go to jail. So, and I couldn't leave Lisa living in a car. So, yeah. And, my kids will never understand that their mom was not going to let it work, And you can only go to jail so many times trying to make shit work before it's like, hey, understand, all you're doing is losing time out of your life. And she's getting some kind of weird thrill out of this shit, It's like, why you keep letting her do it? But I was going to keep letting her do it and keep trying with her. That's what's weird. I was going to go back home. Lisa knows it too. She knows I tried to drop her off, and she didn't go in the house. So it's like, so yeah. my kids, and everybody just thinks that I'm some dick who abandoned my kids. I didn't abandon my kids, man. I fought hard to stay with them. I did fucking jail time 2 different times for them motherfuckers, man. And, you know, I know they wouldn't do that for me. Fuck, they don't call me, or they won't even take a ride out here, 3-hour ride out here. Fucking goddamn give me a fucking bud, man. It's like, goddamn, yo. I'm writhing in pain. I wouldn't ask you for shit, you know. I wouldn't ask, you know. You put me in a position where I have to ask. You know, it's like, you know, I hate to ask people anything. You know, it's like I just expect, like, for people to kind of like know, hey, you know, well, I'm not looking out for myself, so kind of, can you do it? You know? And because, well, I'm trying to look out for you and make your life better, and you know, and do things for others, and, you know, I'm trying to fulfill things for God with my retarded existence, because I'm retarded, and I can't do what other people do. You know, I can't go, I don't have a license, so I can't, like, go do what, like, fucking John can do, you know. That's something that he probably can't understand, put himself in my position, what it's like to be like this for fucking 30 fucking more years, you know, 30 years plus, man. I was like this before I got up with Lisa. Almost got it back, though, right when we first hooked up. That was kind of my own fuck up, I guess. Yeah. The world is spooky, and I want to disappear. I know a lot of other people feel that way too, man. You just want to disappear, become invisible, and nobody see you or even know you're there, you know. Nobody can hear you, so you can scream as much as you want. You can bitch and moan and piss and moan. You can cry about, you know, whatever you want, whatever physical ailments are bugging you, whatever torment your mind is going through, and nobody can hear it, you know. You see what I'm saying? If you could get in a realm like that where you're just by yourself for a few minutes, you're totally really isolated, because you're not really isolated like this, man. You're always around someone else. You know what I'm saying? Except for you guys who have your own places, you know? And it's like, well, for me to have my own place, I have to have money to be able to house a bunch of animals. You see what I'm saying? Just for me to know that they're properly cared for and shit. Because, well, I committed to them. They're my commission. You know, I can't dump fucking a whole bunch of rescue cats off on Lisa when she didn't even want them in the first place. You see? She's got a cat. You know, that's where she's at. And the rest of the shit was my shit. I did that. I brought it in. You know, because, well, I just felt that God wanted me to. What's weird is, if you look way over there, the camera ain't gonna focus on it. But it's like, okay. Let's see if I can get it for you. Well, it's gone. Okay. Down there at the curve of the river, it looked like there was a mirage, though, you know, created by the water and the cold and the ice on the side of the river. And if you, you know, you look down there and you don't, like, totally focus on just one spot and you take it all in, down there where it's like brown, right in the middle of the frame, but way down there, there's the river's coming this way. It's coming this way, and then it comes this way. You see? All right, so it's flowing, and there's like ripples, and it creates these mirages. They look like kayaks coming down. There was some ducks for real. I filmed them when they came by, some real ducks, but it creates these mirages where it looks like people, almost like ghosts or something, in kayaks and shit. If you don't focus on any one thing, you just take that whole scene in. The river's flowing, it's going that way down there, right down there, and it's flowing that way, and it's coming this way. And as it's flowing that way, there's like ice on the side of it. If you could kind of take that whole scene in right there as it's flowing that way and not focus on it. I don't know if like you can get it two-dimensional with a camera. I know I'm not seeing it through the viewfinder, but if I look down there and look, I can see it. I don't even have to really try to see it, because, well, I kind of know not to focus so I can see it. Weird, huh? We'll restart this. We're at 10. I got such an enormous love for that dog. I had to let him lead me under fucking dangerous shit like that tree. He's all walking under it. Come on, man. It's not safe. Look at it. I established that with you when we walked up in here like idiots before. Come on. We're both dumb. You gotta come back this way anyway. Might as well just do it while we're here. Keep going. Get on out. Fucking bunch of sticks and shit. Fuck around and hurt yourself. Especially if you're old and frail like me. And that's why they're a couple. They're not that much older than me that I was talking to when I was sitting over here before. In the other Walking Aslan video. They walk with fucking like ski rods, you know, them poles, ski poles, walking poles. Use them for walking poles. Yeah, you can probably not even begin to fathom what it's like to be retarded like me, where you know you have that physical retardation and you have that strong opposing spiritual side, and you find ways to make it win, you know, the spiritual side, and then it's like the world fights against it, won't let you work it, you know. They want you to have that evil spiritual side. They want you to be on the chemically imbalanced retard level, you know, with your spirituality, because, well, I think they're using that, you see. Like y'all know, the last fast I had, I said a bunch of shit. What if I didn't relinquish all of it or neutralize all of it, you know? That's why I try not to do dumb shit. I haven't been called upon to fast. I have blood sugar issues and shit like that. I'm supposed to eat. I'm supposed to eat regularly, you know? Sometimes I eat too much because I go through these periods where I don't eat. And I have to like reestablish shit in my body, you know? Which takes a whole cycle. You have to fucking do the gluttonous retard shit where you're eating all the stuff you shouldn't be eating and too much of it, and then you fucking gotta give yourself an enema a week later to get the toxins out. Come on, man, you know better than that. We're gonna go a little further. Come on, come on, come on. Andiamo. Isegui. Yeah, see, I have this problem where I have these rants in front of people, and that's why I can't do just any job. I have to like have a driving job or something where I can like be by myself and not you know, subject other people to my mentality and my behavior. But you know, also I could probably hold a normal job if I could drive myself to it like other men, you know, instead of getting dropped off like a child. You know what I'm saying? And because I think it's treating me like a child, it foments this fucked up mentality I got. It actually it makes it grow like a cancer in my brain, you know. And I think they know that is why they won't give me my license back under any circumstances. So then, you know, they put me in this position where I have to find people to drive me around, you know. So now I have to try and find a kid, you know, cater to whatever the kid's needs are, you know. You got a license? Okay, well, what do you want from me in exchange for being my driver and hanging out with me? Because we'll do that. Hey, let's go ahead and go up the strip. We ain't been up there in a while. Yeah. Let's take a quick walk. Let's just stop this. Draining this battery this time. Yeah, we ain't been up this little part in a while. Up behind little things here. I don't want to go too far because I'm old and I haven't eaten in a long time. I didn't even have a coffee. See, this is sad. It's one thing to do shit. It's another thing, like, okay, that's from like marijuana or dope of some kind, most probably. It's like, you know, there's a weird smell here. Come on, come on. I don't want you sniffing nothing here. Come on. Don't you smell that? Fuck around and get sick. Come on, keep going. Andiamo. It's a weird chemical smell. As soon as he stopped there, it's like, whoa. I don't know if he stirred it up in the leaves or if I did or what, but it's like, he's a little dog. He can die easy. Fucking Foxy Ruse sniffed the ground by Ronnie's house, the pole and shit, and had a fucking heart attack, shit, pissed all over himself, was laying there fucking having a seizure, and then fucking, he never got over that. He had seizures for 6 months and fucking died. It was traumatic for me, Lisa and me, you know. When he died, that broke both of us in a way that most people can never be broke over a dog. I mean, I fucking was broke. I wanted to kill somebody, man, and I didn't even know that it was that old cantankerous fuck that did it. I almost fucking went after some people that I thought did it that didn't do it. And I even blamed my brother for it, you know, because it just seemed like his speed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. But I held back to, you know, I got on the spirit side and I held back and didn't do nothing. I just waited and decided to let God, you know, the karma of reap what you sow, you know, let it come back and whoever did it. And then it got exposed to me the whole time. It was Ronnie poisoning the whole goddamn ground floor there, all over the corner, man, even across the street in that old couple's yard that him and the city chased off just because they ministered to cats. Couldn't wait to cut down the bushes that the cats and skunks slept under and take that cat box down and keep the cats warm in the wintertime that, you know, that old couple had their son-in-law build for them. Yeah, it's like, that's some sad shit, you know. Make sure some white devils you know buy the place, cut the bushes down and take the cat box out, you know. I had to witness that. I had to witness the city come rape that old man's bushes, chop them all up. I mean, they should have paid him for the damage they did, because they made him look horrible, man, you know, because of the cantankerous little Ronnie bitch snitch motherfucker, man, crying because a couple branches hung over the goddamn sidewalk. Now, had I known that was going to go on, I would have went over there and cut them branches back to keep the bushes intact. Because them bastards, white devils, did that shit for meanness. They chopped them bushes all up down to the fucking core and shit, where, you know, there was no bush left on the street side. And the old man came out. He's like in his 80s and shit. And he came out there and stood there and looked at that shit and was standing there shaking his head crying. It was like, wow. And then you know what was really sad is add rape onto that bush rape, right? Fucking the cities fucking made them pay. That old couple pay for the bush rape. You know what, the vandalism to his yard. They made that old couple pay. They literally sent police around there and shit to make them, you know, stop feeding the cats and stop, you know, using that cat box outside. They had to block that box up. You know, it was like, you know, white devil shit, man. And it's like, hey, you know that the Bible talks about you will die and be time looped as those that you had no empathy for, you could have helped, and you wouldn't help them. You judged them instead. You know, Ronnie stood there and told me one day, my solution, because he talks all retarded and shit, is to kill them cats. It's like, really? Yeah, they're pests. I'm like, wow. Now, in my mind, you're a pest, you know? In God's mind, you're a pest because you're blessed. You had that property. You should have a cat box like the old couple across the street. You see? No, they set a lost example on your old white ass. No wonder bad shit keeps happening to you. Yeah, you fall off houses and all other kinds of shit. Have fucking goddamn weird shit where you have to have half your body cut open and shit. Yeah, just keep on pissing God off with your shit. He keeps blessing you and letting you get blessings for nothing because you won't do a good goddamn thing on the planet, you know? And that's where that bastard's at. But his feet run quick to do evil, boy. He ran quick to fucking poison that ground floor. He ran quick to poison them cats in 2017. And he not only killed 6 homeless kitties, including a fucking mama kitty to the rescue kitties that 2 of them I adopted out and 2 of them I still have. Fucking, he not only killed the mama of them that I was trying to catch and keep with them, that bastard, he killed some little kids' cats that got loose and came down there and ate that poisoned food too. And imagine how many white devils knew he was doing that shit. Like, you know, his wife knew. So it's like, wow, you're an evil bitch. You're a monster. You'll let your man, your child-minded, 5-year-old child-minded retarded man put poison out for animals. Now, do you know that in a real city where there's real police, you could call the police for that, and Ronnie would have went to jail. And he would have been marked by the city. They would have been watching his ass. They would have been watching his property the rest of his motherfucking life, the rest of the time he lived there. Yeah, and he would have had a criminal record for fucking goddamn endangering and murdering wildlife. Attempted murder on wildlife. How do I know that? because I put Gatorade out one time, and somebody thought I put antifreeze out. Because I did it, I wanted to piss his nosy ass off. So I made it look like I put antifreeze out there, but I put Gatorade out. He came over and fucking poured the shit out one day. And I came out there and yelled at his old ass. And he's like, you can't poison the animals, la 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 la. And he called the police. And as it turns out, there are laws to protect the animals. See? So, hey, I know because I've had a test run with that shit. In Michigan, you can get a motherfucker arrested for the shit Ronnie did. And he's got repeated offenses. And I've got some of that shit on fucking film. Mothballs everywhere, man. He even poisoned the house next door, our house. The house where I'm living right now, Lisa's house, Lisa and John's house. He poisoned that shit, man. For fucking years, it smelled like mothballs up in there. Fucking years. And I got sick every fucking summer, yo. Fucking breathing that shit. Well, I'm allergic to mothballs, man. And some animals can't sniff them either. Aslan and Squeaky used to come in after going over by his fence and just come in and puke yellow bile every time. Every single time they went over by his fence. So finally it just got to where I'm tired of getting on my knees. We're going into the ground buying this fucking carpet spray shit. I'm just going to put that fucking roll of fence up in the way. You know, and that's what I did. John came along and actually made it a nice looking little fence out of this shit. So yeah, it's like, fuck that old dude. It's a permanent fucking thing keeping the animals away from your toxic ass bitch, you know. So these are the things I was engaged in this town, where, you know, I let shit ride and I didn't call the police. Y'all know that just recently he threatened me with a shovel after taking fucking a shovel to my shit. You know, old green chair of mine, but it's still, you know, it ain't his shit. It's not in his yard. He got no right to touch it. If I went in his yard and touched his shit, you better damn well believe the police would have been, 3 different fucking sets of cops would have been there. So it's like, you know, motherfucker, you threaten me with a shovel after fucking doing that shit and then go back and do it again, like you're just trying to antagonize me to call the police on you, huh? So it's like I didn't give him his fucking, you know, his wish. I didn't call the police. I knew he wanted some negative drum because it was like, you know, he was having some kind of psychotic shit. He's got psychotic shit too, you see. So, you know, I just let that shit ride and made my video and got past my psychotic reaction, you know, because y'all seen I had a psychotic reaction. Because anytime that, you know, it's even loud like that, even if I'm like that, I have that reaction where it's like it makes me shaky. You know, if I was loud or was a dick, then I'm real self-conscious of it, and it takes me a long time to get past it, almost like I went streaking in the stadium, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, streaking. Oh yes, they call him the streak. He likes to show off his physique. Look at that, look at that. Yeah, we used to listen to all that good country when we were kids. Spoof country. I forgot the dude's name, but he had a lot of good songs. I had to do a couple covers of his shit because they're actually funny. And then people start looking him up, just like, you know, see his shit and actually see the real shit. Yeah, maybe people might look him up now just from this video. You know how it goes. A few people will look him up and then he starts showing up in related videos. And search results. You see? I like to do that to help bring back good shit. Now we're on this side, where you wanted to be. Stay over here, there's cars and shit. You know where to be, why won't you do it? Huh? Come on. Okay, we're about out of battery power. Yeah. It's cold like a motherfucker out here. I ain't gonna lie, my fingers are cold. His hands up in the fucking sleeve, yo. He's oblivious, cuz, well, when he's out in the shit, he's got his metabolism going, his blood's going. It's when you make up shit, that's when he starts getting cold. We ain't going all the way up there. Shit, man, you're lucky I came all the way over here. I'm trying to be nice. Don't take advantage of shit. Come on, boy. You smell a cafeteria or something. We ain't going near that food. It's just old. That's why you can smell it. You hear that dog? out in this cold shit in the backyard somewhere. Probably a short-haired dog too. I've noticed a lot of people around here have short-haired dogs and they're out in the cold. It's like, what, man? Why are you doing that? Why you even get a dog with short hair if you don't want to treat him? He's got short hair. I wouldn't do that to him. Just put him out in the yard. And look at how furry he is. He's got a coat. Shit. This wind is like biting. It ain't playing. It ain't no joke. Like seeing it is to me because I'm used to seeing it just full of cars all the time, 24 hours a day. If I walk Aslan in the middle of the night, which I'll be getting back to that when John goes on nights again, I'll be able to take As for night walks again. It'll be warm then too, so that'll be cool. And you'll get to see, and maybe by then the lot will be full again, yo. You know, well, there's back to business as usual. Because you know, a lot of these medical professionals they're starving, man. And they've used up their fucking personal time and shit. And they got nothing left to fall back on. A lot of them live hand to mouth. They live out here in these expensive houses close to the hospital and shit, a lot of them. And the houses in this good neighborhood are expensive. You know, the rent's expensive. And we're damn lucky it ain't higher than it is, man. So, you know, it's comfortable. If you apply yourself, you can keep it paid on time every month. And we've lucked out like that. God has blessed us greatly. And, you know, I hope that John's luck stays good so that, like, you know, they're able to keep it going. Because, you know, I don't want my cats endangered or fucking homeless or, you know, their well-being endangered. Come on, man. We're going to kind of go back the way we came. In a way. We're going to go by the nursing home. Come on. You don't want to run into them little kids playing in the yard. They will come out and pet you. And their mama might let their big dog out on you. So it's like, yeah, I saw that the other day. The woman across the street, the old dude that's living with her was outside, and some old woman was walking her little dog. And she stopped to talk to the dude. So then the woman in the house took that as a cue to let her little dog come running out to accost the other little dog, you know? It's like, wow, that's ghetto. What if that little dog didn't want to be accosted, you see? And it didn't. You could tell it didn't. Come on, buddy. Chilly out here. Look at that. Come on. Standing in the street, fool. Yeah, there's a dog. He's always out there in the cold. He ain't never out there when it's nice, though. Man, I can't believe how much energy he's still got. He's like still way ahead of me. Try to get him some water. I don't know if the bowl was dirty or what. He's a priss, man. If there's a little drop of milk in it, it may contaminate the taste. He won't drink it. Come on, man. What are you doing? No. Come on. If you're gonna dookie, let's at least do it down here in the common area. Come on. You shit on somebody's yard? We don't do that. Especially not right now. Cry, you gave him COVID. Oh, shit. This is the brook. Every one of these poles, probably. I'm actually walking the wrong way to expect him to be on the left, but that's why I don't expect him to be on the left. He hasn't been doing it lately anyway, so it's like it's fine. I put a lot of time into that, making him do it, but it's just an OCD thing I had, I guess. I guess if he's in front of you, it doesn't matter where. You know, as long as you can get to him quick and pick him up. Because that's our only cure for a big dog, is just pick him up. It's just going to be some crowd, and that big dog is going to go reaction of, instead of being friendly, he's gonna want to bite him. Because, well, his reaction is to get scared. Now he's starting to peter out. We're almost back. Shit. Come on, man. Make love to it. Shit. Every time you sniff too long, you look like something happened to you. Just come on. Alright, go try and medicate some more and see if I can eat something now. Try and tend to myself a little bit. Like I didn't just spend almost 3 hours doing just that, going to facilitate it, you know. I haven't really tended to myself. Got a couple of head sauce and shit, but I was in a hurry to get him out because he was a good little dog, and I wanted him immediately rewarded for it. Because I hate having to leave him by himself. I hate when that happens to him because I know his reaction. Because he doesn't get left alone. He always has either me or Lisa, and now he has John too, so come on. He's got 3 humans now. It was kind of a sad course of events this week. I should have just succumbed to the defeat. Went and did what I had to do earlier in the week. But I really didn't want to part with the synthesizer. I'll get it back, that's not the point. I just didn't want to, I didn't ever want it to end up in the pawn shop. To me, that's so ghetto. You know, it's just so ghetto. So I am like the most ghetto motherfucker I know. What up, yo?